everybody, to the Superhumanistic podcast, where we talk about all things health, wellness, and longevity. Thank you for joining us today. We are your hosts. I am David.
I'm Jessica.
Make sure that you hit that follow button on this podcast so you never miss another episode. Also, check us out on YouTube and Instagram for behind-the-scenes content and more tips. Last week, we talked about the 5 signs that you are aging well, and also some signs to look for if you're not aging well. So if you want to learn more about how to stay looking good as you get older, go back and listen to last week's episode. We put out an episode once a week on Saturdays, so make sure that you join us once a week. If you are finding value in this podcast, we hope that you leave us a rating and review and also share it with someone that you love. So what are we going to be talking about this week?
So this week, we're actually going to be diving into a topic, and in some cases, quite literally diving into this topic called cold showers or cold baths. There are people that have jumped into cold lakes. There's different challenges out there. So cold showers, are they really good for you? Is it just another wellness fad? We're going to dive in to discover what's out there about this.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I take a cold shower pretty often. I was going through this phase where I was doing it every single day. And that's when, of course, this was a huge trend. You were seeing it all over on TikTok and social media, and all athletes were swearing by it. So I've gone away from doing it every day now, based on further research that I've seen out there. And now I just do it 1 to 2 times a week. And that's also on off days when I'm not actually working out, because I have seen some studies out there that say you shouldn't do it on the days that you're actually going to the gym and lifting weights, because your body needs that inflammation in order to repair the muscles and to build bigger muscles. And part of what it does when you take a cold shower is reduces that inflammation in your muscles. So we did want to talk about this again with that new research, but also I recently saw a Time magazine article that was talking about this and basically jumping into the fact of whether it's good for you, if there's actual good science behind it, as a lot of athletes and influencers swear by it. And let's just say that the results and the research is mixed.
Yeah. So cold showers actually has become a wellness world's icy obsession. So this is not something that just people are doing in America. It's all over the world. A lot of TikTok challenges also are out there. There was the ice bucket challenge a couple years ago to raise money. There's also just various challenges to go and take cold showers. I think originally we learned it from Wim Hof, who is this kind of like an influencer. He does breathing techniques, but then also the cold showers or just out in the cold, and has had some science as well, some experiments that were done with these people that he was able to have practice his 3 techniques, and it was shown for those individuals who were practicing that their immune systems were better. So anyways, it has been around. It's been a fad. There's different challenges out there. Like my husband was saying, there's athletes that plunge into ice baths after a big game. The idea is that the cold exposure can boost our immunity and sharpen our focus, as well as reduce inflammation.
Yeah, well, the research is mixed out there. Advocates for it say it's like flipping a switch in your body. When that cold water hits your skin, your body's having a cold shock response to that. So what that does to your body is your heart rate spikes, your blood vessels constrict, your body floods with stress hormones such as norepinephrine.
And that's why people often describe feeling that invigorated or like super alert afterward. It's like that physiological jolt that we get. And we've definitely experienced that after a really cold shower.
Yeah, there is a catch with that, though, as the Time article pointed out and highlighted there. There is some studies that show some benefits to it. Improved mood and alertness are some of those benefits, but other research has kind of indicated that those benefits are really just short-lived.
And Harvard Health also noted that most studies are limited in this, often involving like ice baths rather than showers. The results vary widely as well. So while there's evidence of the reduced inflammation and faster recovery, it's not like a magic pill or bullet, so to speak.
Yeah, to add on to that, there's some experts at the Cleveland Clinic, a very famous hospital. I'm sure you might have heard about it. And those experts just warned that, yeah, it does show to possibly help circulation and improve mental clarity. But again, they caution on overdoing it, as I was touching on earlier in this podcast.
So, playing devil's advocate here, if the benefits are short term, is it really worth that discomfort?
I would argue yes. I would say that, as I mentioned, I've been doing it for a few years now. As you mentioned, we learned from Wim Hof and watching some of his YouTube videos and some documentaries about him and things like that. So even if that psychological boost is temporary, the psychological training of embracing that discomfort that you're experiencing as soon as your skin hits that cold water can really build resilience for you. That's also like a microdose of stress that teaches your mind and body to adapt in those strenuous situations. So for me, it's been just that. I know that whenever I turn that nozzle to cold, I'm doing something that's difficult for me that I don't necessarily want to do and something that's going to make me uncomfortable. And that's where you grow. And that's going to help you go out into your regular duties each day, whether it's work or anything else when it comes to improving your relationships, whatever it is. You're going to have uncomfortable conversations. You're going to have to take uncomfortable actions. You're going to have to push your comfort zone to the edge. And this is one of those things that teaches you how to do that. So you're more comfortable with going to the edge of your comfort zone.
Yeah, fair point. Definitely. For others, especially those with like heart conditions though, and other like health risks, cold showers might not be safe. So as we always talk about different health and wellness techniques, strategies, what we practice in our day-to-day, what we eat in our day-to-day, we always say to make sure that you are reaching out to your health physician, your doctors, and like talk to them, right? Have that conversation. Is it something that would be good for me?
All right. So what's the superhumanistic takeaway here, guys? It's that cold showers can boost that alertness and mood. And the effects are short-lived, but hey, I'll take some short-lived psychological benefits. That's always a bonus. That's never a bad thing. It's also going to help that circulation and inflammation. However, the results of that can be mixed depending on how frequently you're doing it and those type of things. So as you mentioned, best to do a little bit more research as well. Consult with a doctor if needed when it comes to if you're trying to take cold showers specifically for circulation benefits. The biggest benefit, as I just mentioned, is going to be that psychological piece, just building more resilience in yourself, building that stress tolerance that you can utilize as you do everything else in life. And to always recommend to start small. I typically aim for about 3 to 4 minutes of cold water when I'm doing that at the end of my shower. That's another thing. You start off with hot water, take your regular shower, and just at the end, you're flipping that nozzle to cold for 30 seconds to begin with. Try to work up to a minute, 2 minutes, and so on. Don't really recommend going past 3 to 4 minutes. And the research I've done, that's kind of the sweet spot right there for the benefits.
Yeah. So remember, wellness isn't about chasing every single fad that is out there or trend that you're seeing on TikTok or any social media. It's really about finding what's going to work for you and for you and your body and being able to sustain it over a period of time.
So that is what we had for you on today's episode of Superhumanistic. So cold showers, refreshing ritual, or just a frosty fad? Well, Science is saying a little bit of both there. So that's pretty much what we have for you there. Thank you for joining us. Stay curious, stay resilient, and keep building your superhumanistic life. We'll see you next time.
Bye.